Just a few.
Slightly marked up.
Now we're going to read by the fireside. Page 1. Well, I'd just like to share, first of all, that if you haven't read Penney's books yet, there are five, yes?
Oh, actually 8
8,
now.
yes.
Yeah.
Frequency and Leap of Perception are 2 books within a trilogy. The first is The Intuitive Way. If you really dig this kind of conversation, what I find amazing about these books is in the simple, clear, direct way, she encapsulates all of this esoteric teaching, quantum mechanics, earth changes, psychology, philosophy, but it's all like practical, clear, and you actually have these points in the chapters where it's all experiential through amazing meditations and visualizations. And she encourages you, she's not here listening right now.
No.
Yeah. She encourages you to journal while you're reading these books, because the process really does undergo a quickening when you encounter this kind of material in such a systematic way. One book in particular that I'll read from is A Leap of Perception, and it's talking about transforming the power of your attention. It's really taking us into the next evolutionary orbital, our next shift in consciousness evolution as these multidimensional entities away from linear perception and into our soul alignment. And
is this your agent?
It's like kind of my brother, I think.
Right about that. So here's a real great idea. What are we transforming into? Your fundamental identity is evolving. You're becoming a new kind of human. After transformation, any remnants of that old, self-protective, dominating, isolated ego self, that small identity we've always assumed was part of our being human, disappears. And a much greater self rises from the ashes like the golden phoenix from its funeral pyre. What was fear-based becomes love-based. It's hard to stop, so I won't. Transformation is the beginning of knowing yourself fully and loving what you are. Knowledge and love. You have a very real felt sense of your soul in your body as your personality all the time. Your consciousness and energy increase dramatically. You can access information from dimensions or frequencies of consciousness you didn't realize even existed previously. Your options increase. Your human abilities increase. You are not the same person, yet you are more of who you really are. Then you leapfrog over that to become even more of who you are. And as this continues, you are pleasantly surprised each time.
When I hear that, I think, who wrote that? I like that.
Really good. So when you look intuitively, what do you sense coming in the world of transformation? Is it really real, or is this just a blip that we're experiencing? What do you see coming forward?
Wow. Of course it's real. We were saying in the car coming over, when you look at all this from the left brain, it looks impossible. Like, oh my God, human nature, they never learn from history. It's, the negativity is going to repeat itself. It's going to be so difficult. And that view is the old perception view. When you shift into the new perception, it's like easy. And of course it's doable. And then when people start joining and connecting, the critical mass is reached, and then some kind of this leap occurs without will or effort or logic. And it will happen. I know it will happen. But we are tricked by, looking at the news and how awful the world is, and it looks like that'll never end, and we'll have a world war, and you just can't invest in that. There are like two realities going on right now. I think we're living in two actual realities are separating at this point. And there are people who are very invested in old perception, like especially in politics, where the belief is in the negativity, in the failure, in having to control and having enemies and secrets and lies and the surveillance state or whatever it is that they're doing to us now, and that's the way it is. You can't trust anybody. And then there's this other reality where it's all, innovation and new stuff coming through and transformation, and a lot of people are absolutely having this happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I'm hearing inside of that is back to what you had said earlier about transformation being change plus dimension. And so the beautiful image that you give in frequency is, as we are reaching up or going into heightened frequency, there are levels of being and consciousness that are already established in more divine or clear light consciousness. And they're reaching down to assist, almost like midwifing our soul birth. And so one of the things that I'd like to really drive home here is that we're not alone at this ground level doing this transformation narcissistically by ourselves, and there's no support anywhere else. We're actually being carefully guided through the birth canal. And to actually have those moments where you can feel into these higher dimensions and connect to the guides, the masters, the avatars, the great teachers that are here and always have been here to be these pillars of light and bestowers of grace and consciousness to accelerate, to clear, to comfort you during this birthing process.
Yeah. I have had a sense that, as the physical plane accelerates in its frequency, what's happening really is that we're rising up into a state where we now feel directly the non-physical realm, which was always at heaven, it was out there. Now heaven and earth are merging and coming together, and they're in the same present moment, in the same time, in the same space, parallel, but their frequencies existing simultaneously. There's no separation between the world. There's no other side anymore. There's no death anymore. Everybody is still here, and so there is this sense of, because of that merger into the non-physical realms, we're starting to realize that all the non-physical beings, there are lots of them, and they are here helping us. They're not just imaginary. And I had a visionary dream a long time ago where I saw the planet, and then I saw all these balls of light, clear light, coming down toward the planet, amassing around it. And it was beings from all over the galaxy or the universe coming in to watch what was going on here on the planet, because it's so interesting, this transformation of the planet actually transforming. And so then their presence is like they were piling on and stacking up, and they were forming a band of clear diamond light around the planet, which was actually, like what you just said, helping us reach up to match their frequency. So they were actually helping us raise our vibration. Because we sense they're there, and we want, who's out there, like, where are you? And so now we're having a lot more interdimensional communication. If you look at the books that are on mediumship and all this stuff, you know, it's all more common knowledge now. But those beings are here with us now, you know. And if you think you're alone, I mean, that's an old fallacy, because there's so much help.
Yes.
I mean, billions, I mean, lots of help. Lots.
And there seems to be evidence that it's not that they're just showing up, that they've been here and have left their signature in ancient civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
So these monolithic sites, Stonehenge, the Great Pyramids, Cusco in Peru, Teotihuacan, all of these sacred sites that are high energy vortex centers on the body of Gaia, or Mother Earth, she has the same kind of meridian system and ley lines of energy with vortex points or nodal points on her body that we do physically. And so as high frequency waves, cosmic waves are coming in to ignite and trigger us into activation, and all these dormant potentials are awakening in us that are already embedded in our DNA. So it's already written. It's already done. So too, Mother Earth is getting inundated with these waves, solar flare activity, perhaps another way of it happening, where her meridian lines are getting fired, and these vortex points are really opening up. And one of the indicators that's been mentioned are the crop circles. That crop circles oftentimes are occurring around these vortex points, like Stonehenge. That's a real hot spot for crop circles. And sometimes these crop circles, it's been reported, appear in 45 minutes. Like there would be a pilot flying over, taking a person over to a different part of the area of London, I think it was, dropping them off and then coming back, and there's a crop circle. And what's really fascinating about some of these crop circles is they're showing you